A judge in the Austin, Texas area has once again extended eviction protections for tenants until March of 2022. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's going over a local eviction moratorium in Travis County, Texas, which is the home to Austin, Texas. Now, as people know, Austin is one of the more liberal places in the state of Texas. It's the state capital, and because of all the tech money and all the migrants coming in there from out of state, particularly the tech people coming in from California, the place has become extremely progressive, extremely liberal as compared to the rest of the state. So it shouldn't surprise you that they still have a local eviction moratorium going on there. And it kind of blows your mind, because when you think of Texas, you think of a place that's much more conservative, much more right-leaning, much more landlord-friendly, not as a tenant-friendly place. But this is their little island of, tenant-friendly progressivism there in Texas. I wish that the state wouldn't allow this, but apparently they have. And so basically their eviction moratorium is still going on, and this judge just was able to extend it another month. Okay, so hey, landlords down there are still suffering. Now, before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think, okay? What do you think of my glasses? Okay, I wear glasses. Most of my videos I haven't done with these glasses on, but I decided, it's a little bit easier for me to actually read these articles when I actually have them on, so I might be wearing them from now on, okay? But as for a landlord type question, what do you think of Texas or other conservative states still having eviction moratoriums going on? Does that, surprise you? I mean, it should, because, most of the time, these states don't allow these local jurisdictions to just do whatever they want. And in this case, they apparently did. So, this article comes from statesman.com, and it says, eviction protections extended through March 1st for Travis County renters. And let's see what it says. A Travis County Justice of the Peace has again extended eviction protections for renters, allowing them more time to seek assistance as the COVID-19 pandemic rages. Precinct 5 Justice of the Peace Nick Chu's new order will require eviction trials for unpaid rent to be paused for 30 days so that Travis County renters can seek rental assistance, consult a pro bono attorney through a Justice of the Peace court program set up for indigent tenants, and negotiate a settlement without the need for an eviction. Judges are required to follow the law, but that doesn't mean we can't have a heart to try to help people, Chu said in a statement. With the rise of the Omicron variant, the courts are doing everything we can to prevent a public health crisis from spiraling into a housing and economic crisis as well. And that sounds like a bunch of garbage to me, okay? Simply put, this doesn't have anything to do with public health. We're talking about, simply put, these tenants have not been paying rent for a very long time, and giving them any additional protections that weren't covered by the law, that's completely ridiculous, okay? You're actually violating the Constitution by forcing landlords to keep these people in their property without giving them compensation. Who cares if they're applying for rental assistance if they don't qualify for it? Okay, these are the same people who would have been evicted whether there was a coronavirus pandemic or not. Okay, this is completely ridiculous. I don't like it that this judge thinks that they are the high emperor and that they can do whatever they want. That is complete. Give me a break. You're a judge. You need to do your job. Period. Frustrating. The order will be in effect until March 1st, when Justice of the Peace courts lose the ability to modify rules and procedures under a Texas Supreme Court emergency order. Tuesday's extension is the 18th order providing eviction protections since the first one was issued March 13th, 2020. The order has protected thousands of Travis County families from eviction. So 18 times. Keep that in mind, okay? So they put this in place originally in March of 2020. Well, it doesn't end until March of 2022. That's 2 years. Do you think that tenants need these protections 2 years later? Texas was one of the first states to open back up. Texas has one of the strongest economies in the whole country. So you can't tell me that simply put, these tenants are unable to find employment because they have a strong open economy, and they have for a long, long time. And I'm not believing it. I'm not believing any of this nonsense. But, what we have is this left-leaning judge who thinks they can do whatever they want. And it isn't right. I wish that somebody would sue this judge in particular, not just the county, but this judge in particular for violating the Constitution. Frustrating. According to the Eviction Solidarity Dashboard, more than 5,000 evictions have been filed since the beginning of 2020, of which 2,420 were filed after March 13, 2020. A total of 2,097 judgments have been issued, and about 508 eviction filings are currently active. But where renters will find rental assistance money will be the challenge. Austin, Travis County, and the state's rental assistance program all shut down their application portals earlier this month because applications surpassed the money available. Austin paid out $35 million to more than 8,298 families, and 2,823 different Travis County families received a total of $10.2 million from the county. So yeah, they don't have any rental assistance money. So they're saying, hey, we're going to extend it until these people can apply when there's no money to pass out to the landlords anyway. Oh my goodness. This story is completely ridiculous. And this is a complete overreach by this judge. This is a complete, power grab by some judge who thinks that they know better than what the law says. And simply put, that is not the case. Okay, this judge should be removed, in my opinion. Just completely removed. It is unclear whether more federal funding will become available, but families continue to seek assistance, especially as the area braces for another surge to the Omicron variant. And they need to stop bringing up this Omicron variant because, simply put, it is not as severe as they originally thought it was going to be, okay? The chance of severe illness with this is way, way less. Not only that, but no states and the federal government have moved to lock down or shut down businesses again. So this isn't the worst of the pandemic. This isn't the earlier stage of the pandemic. We can better handle this. They have new treatments. They have vaccines. There's no reason for this eviction moratorium nonsense to continue. On Wednesday, and then they start going over stats. So I'm gonna skip the stats on cases because the case count is irrelevant. And that looks like that's pretty much it when it comes to this article. So yeah, landlords down there in Austin, Texas area and Travis County, Texas, they are still suffering under this eviction moratorium. We got a power hungry judge who's just doing whatever they want, and nobody's stepping up to say, hey, after 2 years, we need to put this to an end. So yeah, there are still cases of local and state eviction moratoriums that are going on throughout the country. The state of New Jersey, theirs just ended on January the 1st, and that's a good thing. But as long as these local ones, and we have judges who are refusing to hear cases and refuse to issue the evictions and do their job, well, this crisis won't end for landlords, and that's what I hate right there. So yeah, hang in there if you are a property owner, a landlord in Travis County, Texas, and get used to it, because simply put, like these politics, right? And I've mentioned this in a couple other videos. The politics from these very left-leaning places, they start to flow into the more landlord-friendly places as the residents start to move there. That's why I tell people to keep their eyes open for what is going on in these other states. When you start to see stuff about rent control up in the East Coast and rent control on the West Coast, and you're like, oh yeah, no big deal. Those places are far away. Well, then I tell you about how they pass rent control in Minnesota, and you're like, Minnesota? What? Why is Minnesota passing rent control? Well, they did, okay? And, then you start hearing about them wanting to put caps on rent raises in Florida, and then you start hearing about no cause evictions, and then you start hearing about all this other nonsense. And the truth of the matter is that it is slowly moving into the other parts of the country. And if we don't, put an end to it as quickly as we see it, then we could be stuck underneath these policies that are extremely anti-landlord.